Hey, welcome back to the shop. This is Zach over at NV Woodworks. Today I want to share a quick tip with you dealing with how to get opaque colors in your blanks or in your castings. Now, one of the easiest ways to do that is just simply use Alumilite white resin. There's some drawbacks to that though, because it's got a very, very short open time. Literally, it's going to start hardening up in 2 minutes. That means you can't get 10 colors in there. You know, you're lucky if you can get 3 or 4. The other problem with Alumilite white is you can't get the shimmery effects. It's opaque. It's kind of flat in a sense. You're not going to be able to use Pearl X powders or the micas or anything like that. So there are drawbacks, and a lot of people are probably not going to buy Alumilite white and clear. Or they're using epoxy. There is no opaque version of epoxy or polyester resin. So there is a way to do it using the clear resins, and this works with Alumilite with polyester resin, I can't talk today, and epoxy works the same way. That's using Alumilite's white dye. All you got to do is add a few drops of white dye to your resin, and it'll depend on how much resin you're talking about, how much you're going to use, but just a little bit of this white dye, and you can add some colors and whatever, and you get opaque. This little puck, I just put it in a cup, and I was just doing some testing. I believe that this is about 50 grams of resin, so 25 of A, 25 of B. I think I put about 3 drops of white, and then I put about 5 to 8 drops of blue, and I got an opaque blue puck, basically. Again, it depends on how much you're actually going to be making, how much resin you're using, so it can vary. The other thing is there's kind of a sliding scale, and you can kind of get semi-transparent by putting a very, very tiny amount of white dye in there. You can still add some of the Pearl X powders and all that kind of stuff, get a little bit of semi-transparent, but kind of shade the... One of the things that I use this for, I'm just going to go on a side note here, I don't like painting tubes or blanks or any of that stuff. I think it's just a pain in the butt, and I don't like it. So I generally prefer, at least, you know, it's not like I can get away from doing that on every blank, but I prefer having opaque. Now, one thing you can do is just make it slightly opaque where you're still getting the shimmer, but you've drowned out that tube. It's not as, the light is just not penetrating through as far. And you can do that by just adding a little bit of white. So, like I said, in many cases, my blanks, I use Alumilite white because I don't want to mess with white and all this other stuff. And I have colors already pre-mixed for use in Alumilite white. However, there are a few colors that I just won't even use or make in Alumilite white. One of them that I just recently found this out. You know, I'm always learning new stuff as I go as well. Black does not work very well with Alumilite white resin. So I make Saints blanks, the Raiders, and the blacks just will not polish up. And I just recently found this out. So I actually use clear resin. Now that's another case where you don't even need to use white. The black dye will also make it totally opaque. So you just put about 3% black in there, dead black, and you're going to be great. So I hope this is kind of helpful. It can expand what you can do. I think a lot of people don't even think that there's any way besides dumping a ton of Pearl X in there to get opaque blanks or to hide the tube and all that kind of stuff. So I hope this kind of helps you out. I hope it opens some new doors and you start making some new blanks because of this. If you have any comments or questions, you can leave those down below. You can email me at zach@nvwoodworks.com, out there on Facebook and Twitter as well. So yeah, thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.